Kaleidoscope. It's said that the great emperor of all emperors called for his wisest and cleverest people and told them to go away for 10 years to invent useful things. Whoever could invent the most useful thing of all would win 3,500 chocolate biscuits. 10 years later, there was a queue outside the palace of the great emperor of all emperors. One by one, people were asked in to show their invention to the great emperor of all emperors. One woman had invented windscreen wipers for spectacles. "Excellent," said the great emperor. "Very useful for when it's raining, but not a prize winner, I'm afraid." One man had invented square tomatoes. "Very good," said the great emperor. "Very useful for putting tomatoes in boxes, but not a prize winner, I'm afraid." One woman had invented a pencil that sharpened itself. "I like it," said the great emperor. "Very useful when you're too tired to use a pencil sharpener, but not a prize winner, I'm afraid." And one man had invented the kaleidoscope. "What's this?" said the great emperor. "You look through it," said the man. "Oh, it's a telescope, is it? Well, I'm afraid telescopes have already been invented. Hard luck. Goodbye. Next." "It's not a telescope," said the man, "but you do look through it." "Well, what's the point of looking through something that looks like a telescope but isn't a telescope?" said the great emperor. "You look through it, then you twist it and move it, and before you know what's what, you find yourself saying, 'Ooh.' Or on another day you might look through it, twist it and move it, and you could find yourself saying, 'Ah.' And I have to tell you this, sometimes people find themselves saying both 'ooh' and 'ah.'" "But what's the use of that?" said the great emperor. "I asked for inventions that are useful, not some stupid little thing that makes you make funny noises. Thank you, and goodbye. Next." "Just try it," said the man. "Oh, if I must," said the great emperor crossly. And he picked up the kaleidoscope, he twisted it, moved it, and he looked through it. And when he saw all the colours of the rainbow glowing in there, and when he saw all those patterns changing over and over again, he said, "Ooh!" And then he said, "Ah!" And then as he went on looking through it and changing the patterns, he said, yes, it's very nice, but what's it for? Is it useful?" And the man who had invented the kaleidoscope said, "Well, if you think about it, it's very useful. People go all over the world to look for things like the Grand Canyon or the Eiffel Tower, so that when they see them, they'll say, 'Ooh' and 'Ah.' With this invention, you won't have to move out of your chair. And whenever you feel like a quick 'ooh' or a quick 'ah,' you take it out, look through it, twist it about a bit, and there you are." But the great emperor wasn't listening. He was too busy looking through the world's first kaleidoscope and saying, "Ooh" and "Ah." Later, much later, the man won 3,500 chocolate biscuits. Well, that's how the story goes. It may or may not be true.